It's getting late in the season, but topwater bite is not over yet. And one way that you can keep the topwater bite going is downsizing those topwater baits and going finesse. But this still catches big bass. That's right, I love to go finesse in the fall. They're chasing smaller bait fish, they're looking at smaller profile baits, and that includes what I call the jig of topwater, the buzzbait. The buzzbait, for me, almost 90% of the time, because of the waters that I fish, how clear they are, I'm going to throw a finesse buzzbait. Now, these buzzbaits that I just picked up a little while ago are from BassGeek. So I picked up a few different colors and some of their trailers to go along with it. I'll show you some of that. But the reason why I'm throwing a finesse buzzbait this time of year is because A, it's more subtle. B, it is a smaller profile to mimic the size and type of bait fish that they're busting on. But the bass love to move around, and so do the shad, around wood this time of year. And that's what makes these so great, is because they match that hatch. So around any sort of wood, docks, marinas, laydowns, the bass are up in there. And you make 2 or 3 casts with these and it calls them up, drives them crazy. It's like ringing a dinner bell, nice and slow over top of them. Now, let me show you a couple of the finesse buzzbaits that we picked up, and let me show you some of the trailers that we picked up from Biz. So I got all these in the 5/16 ounce. So again, a very light. Once you put the trailer on though, you'll see in rod reel line, pretty easy to cast with your standard buzzbait setup. This one in particular is called Snow White. This is one of my favorites, natural shad. This one is Spot Remover. This one is black. And since we know the largemouth are out in the middle and the smallmouth are in the trees, this is the one we're going to be using today, and this is black gold. So we also picked up a couple of trailers. Now, one of the baits that I love, and it's new to them, it's actually 2 of the baits that I really love that they've started making, is the minnow. And so we picked up the minnow. This is Pearl Magic in the 3.5 inch. We also picked up some of the swimming minnows. This is also Pearl Magic in the 3 inch. We also got a black in the 3.5 inch minnow, and in black and blue, a swimming minnow. All right, let me show you how I rig these up. So this is the combo we're going to throw right now. Love the gold blade because we've got a little bit, well, not a little bit, it's really overcast today. We got some rains coming through the night. We're going to pair that. We're just going to do something crazy because the water, the lake is turned over, and the visibility for a change isn't ultra clear. So we're going to use the black and blue minnow. And as always, one of the things that I like to do to make sure we get a good lineup, mark the bait where it's going to come out. So I'll put my finger right there. Then we'll go straight through the nose. Make sure we're staying, and I'll get right by that pick, come straight out, push it up over the keeper. Once you get it up over the keeper, you want to make sure it's nice and straight. Maybe a dab of glue that's going to help it out, but we are ready to tie it on. Now, as far as line goes, this is actually 12-pound monofilament. It floats a little bit, like to keep it up. There will be links in the description. We're going to tie the pit seam knot, wrap it around about 5 times, pull it down, moisten, slide down the tighten, clip the tag in. Now, let's talk about rod reel line. All right, so as far as rod reel line, you know, we've already told you about the 12-pound mono. It's going to keep the bait up a little bit and allow us to go a little bit slower. This is my go-to buzzbait rod. You've seen me talk about it several times. It's a 7'3". It's a medium heavy, and it does have a fast tip, or it says it's got a fast tip, but man, it's really got a little bit softer. I would categorize it as a medium moderate because it casts this bait plenty far enough. Now, one of the reasons it might do that would be the microwave guides that are on here. But again, this is a 7'3". Most of you all, I'm going to say, use probably a 7 foot, because what ends up happening is the shorter the rod, the more accurate you're going to be. And what you need to do, just like a jig with a buzzbait, is you need to get it in and around as close as you can to cover. Now, I've got that teamed up. This is an old Daiwa. I think it is a Tatula CT. One of you awesome geeks sent me this when I fell off the boat a few years ago and lost my other buzzbait combo. So I will put a link in the description to a comparable reel from Daiwa. Big Daiwa fan, by the way. It's got the T-wing system on there, and I think this is a pretty fast, yes, an 8-1-1, which I like for my buzz baits to get them started quickly. That first part of the cast, probably the most important part of the cast when it comes to getting bites on a buzz bait. We'll talk about that now. All right, geeks, so one of the things that I do want to talk to you about is tuning a buzzbait. And I've noticed as this one is coming back to me, it's kind of running off to this side. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to bend this just a little bit that way. So it's going to straighten it back up, get it running straight and true. Now, a trick that you can actually do if you want it to run up underneath a dock or you know, underneath something and kind of hit it, you can actually bend it one way or another and have it kind of run underneath the dock and then back around and bounce off things. Good little trick for a buzzbait. But fishing a buzzbait, you know, we've talked about this a lot in past videos. It's one of my favorite baits to throw. The reason why I like a 7'3" is because I can make long casts. I'm in clear water. That's why I love these finesse buzz baits. But when I make that cast, I'm going to stop this buzz bait in air before it hits the water. And then as it hits the water, I'm going to make sure I'm raising the tip of my rod up. Not too far, because you don't want to be out of hook set position. So just a little bit to get it going, then use that real high speed reel to keep that buzzbait moving at its slowest possible speed. I get a lot of people talking to me about their buzzbaits blowing out, and a lot of times what's happening when you're blowing out or they're rolling over is you're reeling it way too fast. So slow down. Now, if you stick around to the end, I've got a great video talking about how to tune everything about a buzzbait, which I'll have to say these from Biz comes pretty much out of the package ready to rock and roll. I always say probably the first 10 feet of your buzzbait retrieve is the most important. That's why it's important to get it started and at a steady speed. You don't want it to rush. You don't want it to get underwater. Even though, believe it or not, I have caught them underwater like that before, which is kind of blew my mind. You want it to hit the water and come at that nice, steady, as slow as that particular buzzbait allows. It's another thing I love about this is that big blade. A little bit big for a finesse, but it keeps it at a slow pace. I love everything about this buzzbait, let me tell you. Once it's coming, you know, I hear people talk about frogs and taking the 1-2, but the big key is the same thing I tell people about a swim bait. When you're fishing a swim bait, don't swing when you feel the thump. Swing when you feel the weight of the fish. Same thing here. Keep rolling. If they explode, don't swing until you feel the weight of that fish. So you just keep reeling. It's hard to do. Stay calm. You just keep reeling until they turn down with the bait and pull your line. They put a little weight on that thing. Now, as far as landing the hook, these have got some great BKK super slick hooks in them. They're stout. Get them in there, drag them in. A lot of hardware out in front, so you don't want them to wrench this bait out and throw it. Get them to the boat. If your net man's not ready, boat hop them in, or be ready to get down there and get them on your thumb as quick as you possibly can. That really is all there is to fishing a buzzbait. This is a very impressive finesse buzzbait. Now, if you want to go check out the buzzbaits or anything else BizBaits has to offer, make sure you go down to the description and check that out. Now, if you want to see how to tune a buzzbait, make sure you go right here and check out that video on everything you need to know about a buzzbait. Otherwise, questions, comments in the comment section below. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you ring the bell so you get notifications when this video comes out. Be part of the 100% Watch Squad, and you geeks rock.